The world is witnessing a seismic shift in the global economic order. The BRICS alliance, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is making bold moves to challenge the long-standing dominance of the US dollar. This emerging bloc of nations represents a significant portion of the global population and economic output. Their recent actions suggest a concerted effort to reshape the global financial landscape. The BRICS nations are seeking to reduce their reliance on the US dollar and establish a more multipolar world order. The BRICS alliance has been steadily gaining momentum in recent years. Their collective economic power has grown significantly, and they have become increasingly vocal in their criticism of the existing global financial system. The BRICS nations argue that the current system, dominated by the US dollar, is unfair and unsustainable. They point to the risks associated with relying on a single currency for international trade and finance. The recent expansion of BRICS to include Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE further underscores their growing influence. The inclusion of these new members has significantly broadened the alliance's reach and capabilities. Each new member brings its own unique strengths to the table, further bolstering the bloc's economic and geopolitical clout. The addition of Iran, a major oil producer, strengthens BRICS's position in the global energy market. Egypt's strategic location at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe enhances the alliance's trade routes and connectivity. Ethiopia, one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, adds to the bloc's economic dynamism. The UAE, a global hub for finance and investment, brings its financial expertise to the alliance. The expansion of BRICS is a clear signal of its growing appeal and its ambition to play a more prominent role on the world stage. The alliance's decision to admit new members reflects a desire to build a more inclusive and representative global order. It also highlights the growing dissatisfaction with the existing system and the desire for a more equitable balance of power. The BRICS alliance is emerging as a powerful force for change, challenging the established norms and reshaping the contours of the global economy. I'm sure you've heard the news. The BRICS nations are making bold moves to challenge the dominance of the US dollar. For decades, the US dollar has reigned supreme as the world's reserve currency. This status has afforded the United States significant economic and political leverage. However, the BRICS nations are increasingly seeking to break free from this dollar-centric system. They are promoting the use of their own currencies in bilateral trade and exploring alternative mechanisms for international payments. This shift away from the US dollar is driven by a number of factors. One key concern is the vulnerability of emerging economies to fluctuations in the value of the US dollar. Changes in US monetary policy can have significant ripple effects on developing countries, impacting their exchange rates, inflation, and debt burdens. The BRICS nations are seeking to mitigate these risks by reducing their reliance on the US dollar. Another motivating factor is the desire for greater economic sovereignty. By reducing their dependence on the US dollar, the BRICS nations aim to gain greater control over their own economic destinies. They are also seeking to create a more level playing field in international trade and finance, where they are not beholden to the whims of US policy. The move away from the US dollar is not without its challenges. The US dollar enjoys deep liquidity and well-established financial markets, making it a convenient and reliable currency for international transactions. Building alternative systems that can match the scale and efficiency of the dollar-based system will require significant coordination and investment from the BRICS nations. However, the potential benefits of a more multipolar currency system, with reduced reliance on the US dollar, are driving the BRICS nations to pursue these ambitious goals.
A cornerstone of the BRICS initiative is the development of their own international payment system. This system, if successfully implemented, could provide a viable alternative to the SWIFT network, which is currently the backbone of global financial transactions.
The SWIFT network, however, is heavily influenced by Western countries, and the BRICS nations have expressed concerns about its potential use as a tool of economic and political pressure. The proposed BRICS payment system aims to create a more independent and secure platform for cross-border payments between member countries.
This system would allow businesses to conduct transactions in their local currencies, reducing exchange rate risks and transaction costs. It would also provide a degree of insulation from potential disruptions to the SWIFT network.
The development of the BRICS payment system is still in its early stages, but it represents a significant step towards creating a more multipolar financial system. The success of this initiative will depend on a number of factors, including the technical feasibility of the system, the willingness of businesses to adopt it, and the ability of the BRICS nations to ensure its stability and security.
If the BRICS payment system gains traction, it could have far-reaching implications for the global financial landscape. It could potentially erode the dominance of the US dollar and create a parallel financial system that operates independently of Western institutions. This would represent a major shift in the balance of power in the global economy, with significant geopolitical ramifications.
The potential inclusion of Saudi Arabia in the BRICS alliance has sent shockwaves through the global energy market. As the world's largest oil exporter, Saudi Arabia's decision to join BRICS would be a game changer. It would significantly bolster the alliance's control over global oil production, and could potentially accelerate the shift away from the US dollar in oil trading.
Saudi Arabia's potential membership in BRICS is driven by a confluence of factors. The kingdom is seeking to diversify its economic and political partnerships beyond its traditional allies in the West. Joining BRICS would align Saudi Arabia with a bloc of nations that are rapidly gaining economic and geopolitical clout.
It would also provide the kingdom with a platform to exert greater influence on global issues, particularly in the energy sector. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia's potential move towards BRICS reflects a growing assertiveness among oil-producing nations. They are increasingly reluctant to be beholden to the dictates of Western powers, and are seeking greater control over their own resources and destinies.
The inclusion of Saudi Arabia in BRICS would have profound implications for the global energy market. It could potentially lead to the creation of a BRICS-led oil cartel that could challenge the dominance of OPEC. This would give the alliance significant leverage over global oil prices and supply. Moreover, Saudi Arabia's participation in the BRICS payment system could further erode the status of the US dollar as the primary currency for oil transactions.